I'm driving the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma, the next generation, and this is the SR5, one of the more basic models. It's one that you're probably going to buy. Jurassic Park may be fiction, but the third generation Tacoma was a dinosaur that lived among us. Soon a new one will arrive at Toyota showrooms. The Big T has brought me to Malibu, California for the launch of the all-new 2024 model, and it really is all new. Quite the evolution.
Overall, I really want you guys to get in there, have a chance to experience these.
Tacoma is the 500-pound gorilla. For the past 18 years, it's been the best-selling truck in its segment. Of course, it's been helped by the fact that the American brands have abandoned the segment occasionally during that period. This, the 2024 Tacoma, is all new. It's not just a new sheet metal job over the existing platform. The architecture is new. Engines are new. There are even new models.
Something to keep in mind while watching.
These are all pre-production trucks.
Okay.
So just to be abundantly clear, this is the first time we will ever have seen this off of a production tool built by our team members online. This is we're going back a couple months. We're going back in time.
At the launch, Toyota was still finalizing the DNA. Plastics here lack the final grain pattern. Toyota says the low-rent, shiny stuff won't be on production trucks. One of the most important tasks the new Tacoma has is to be more things to more people. There are significant differences between models.
Aggressively go after value proposition on the entry grade, defend, and by all means, accelerate the core. What do I mean by core? That's our SR5 grade, our TRD, our sport, and of course our off-road package. Reimagine luxury in our limited, and then of course inspire and awe with our halo grades.
I'll be taking a TRD off-road into rugged country in a separate video.
They are way more refined than they have been in the past. So very smooth, like crawl control will run almost in the background without you noticing it's even there. Same for downhill assist.
This one focuses on the affordable SR5 Double Cab four-wheel drive model in celestial silver metallic with a 6-foot bed. The base retail price is $42,400, including delivery from the factory in Mexico. This one has options that add heated front seats and steering wheel, an upgraded JBL Flex audio system with a portable Bluetooth speaker to lose, and power rear window. That adds $3,700. So at some $46,000, it's around $4,000 more than a comparably equipped Chevy Colorado LT. Unlike Ridgeline, Canyon, Colorado, and the new Ranger, Tacoma and Nissan Frontier can be had in different cab and bed sizes. The two-door extra cab, a base SR rocking 17-inch Steelies here, seats two. The back is strictly for storage. The passenger chair becomes a desk of sorts. Bed sizes are 5 and 6 feet. The four-door double cab has seatbelts for 5. To go deep in the weeds on cab, bed length, and model combinations, I'm going to send you to Toyota's website configurator. Things get complicated. I'm trying to get to the meat of the truck here. Ground clearance? Toyota's spec sheet gives a vague up to 11 inches for rear drive models, 10.7 for four-wheel drive. V6 lovers will be shopping Gladiator, Frontier, or Ridgeline now. There will be a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder-based iForce Max hybrid system. It's used more for power than Prius-like efficiency. That setup, shown in the new Trailhunter overlanding-oriented model here, hits showrooms in the spring of 2024. At the event, we're driving 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engines. In the base SR work truck, it delivers 228 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque, and it takes on bumps with a rear leaf spring suspension. The same 2.4-liter displacement can pump out more power. In the SR5 model I'm driving, it cranks out 278 horses and 317 pound-feet of torque low in the rev range. Its rear suspension is independent multi-link with coil springs, what most Tacomas will get. Toyota Toyota says the extra oomph is more than simply tweaking chip settings.
About 54% of the components in the base L4 are carryover for this truck. That means the rest of these are bespoke design parts that were developed for the purpose of truck use. We want to have good response, we want to have torque, and we want to have good drive force. We're developing 317 pound-feet of torque at 1,700 RPM. So we're just above idle, maybe 1,000 RPM above idle, and you're getting a really fast torque curve, and then we're holding it steady.
Most tacos will make burrito runs with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Manual control is done here, at least in this SR5. Some models can be had with a 6-speed manual. I am not a fan. Throws are longer and a smidge rubbery. Clutch take-up is near the top of the travel. Could be a pre-production thing. The SR5 I snagged is equipped with part-time 4-wheel drive with 4 high and low. Only limited models get a set-and-forget all-wheel drive like 4-wheel drive system, head-up display, plus an optional adaptive variable suspension. Check out the powered tailgate, Richie Rich. Give it a gentle upward tap with your knee and it closes automatically. Finally, Tacoma's max payload depends on the model, rear drive or 4-wheel drive. Nearly every Tacoma can tow up to 6,500 pounds. Base SRs are limited to 3,500. Let's drive.
Okay, I need to merge with traffic here. Let's see what the turbo's torque is like. Nice.
Not a velociraptor, I'll guesstimate 0 to 60 spools up in 8 seconds or so. The low-end torque gives it a quicker feel. I get a solid 90 minutes behind the wheel of the SR5. Some impressions?
Okay, I'm listening for turbo whistle. Under light throttle. Don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, you can hear it. Under moderate or heavy throttle, not so much.
The engine growl covers it up. I came to notice the whistle more and more after tooling around the roads above Malibu a while. I'll get to the new architecture soon, but for now, let me say it makes a huge difference, and the driving position feels far more natural now. I suspect taller drivers will be much happier in this cabin.
Tacoma has always been known for its reliability, but on-road driving dynamics, not so much. I've complained about those for years. This is significantly better. It really is. It tracks straight and true, no micro corrections. The chassis is much more buttoned down. It's quieter. Everything about this is better. If you waited for this generation, you will have been rewarded.
The independent rear suspension has to be a big factor. Body rigidity feels way up too, less chassis shimmy when hitting large bumps. The 8-speed shifts are smooth and subtle. Programming is spot on. You won't notice it doing its job. Couldn't say that about the old gearbox.
Every Tacoma with an automatic transmission gets active noise cancellation, and it does a lot to keep the cabin much quieter than the outgoing generation. It's much, much better in here now. I was doing about 75, 80 on the freeway, and yeah, there was some wind noise off the A-pillar and the front end, but you know, that's gonna happen. This is a bolt upright truck.
Active electronic safety tech, dubbed Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, has evolved as well. I didn't test its lane keeping significantly, but it seems solid. That, adaptive cruise, and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection are standard on all models. Same with blind spot warning and rear cross traffic alert, except for on the base SR.
The estimated fuel economy of this SR5 all-wheel drive vehicle is an average of 21 miles per gallon. That ties Honda Ridgeline. That's a couple better than Chevy Colorado and one better than the outgoing Tacoma. The champ in this segment is Ford Ranger at 22 mpg.
A solid reason the 2024 Tacoma goes down the road better is the frame. Built on the scalable TNGA-F platform that's under Tundra and Land Cruiser, multiple grades of steel are laser welded together to provide strength where it's needed and lightness where it's not. It's now fully boxed. The outgoing frame from the Cretaceous period used a fairly long section of C-channel with less rigidity, easier for moisture to collect there as well. It can be adapted to different models.
We demonstrate this on this truck. It has what we call a zero cross, different than some of the other vehicles. This is in the front of the vehicle. It provides additional rigidity, stability, a place for us to mount our bash plates, but also an area to protect our entire cooling package, which is up front.
The new powertrain packaging puts the catalytic converter up into the engine bay, much harder to steal. SR5 is just one step up from the base SR. Because of the pre-production shiny plastic, it's tough to judge the ambiance, but my feeling is it's no better than Ford, GM, or Nissan cabins. Stay tuned. The instrument panel uses the hard stuff. There are soft spots where needed. The SR5's button blanks will remind owners they bought a basic truck. I'm usually fine with screens mounted like this, but the 8-inch display seems like an afterthought here. Small too, a 14-incher is available. Running power to GoPros and radar detectors is easier and cleaner with this port location. This is the 7-inch gauge cluster. There's a 12.3-inch display in higher models. Pickups are about utility, and there are loads of places to stash everything away. That's not an issue, especially here. Look at all these pockets. Bag hooks, too. The cloth seats are comfortable with grippy material. Tacoma is a leather-free zone, by the way. Soft-Tex synthetic is only found on the upper models. Same with power adjustments and a sunroof if you want those. Toyota's thoroughly modern multimedia interface that doesn't really have a home screen makes its way into Tacoma. The cloud-based system requires a data plan for full functionality. The natural voice commands work great.
Hey Toyota, is there an In-N-Out burger nearby?
I found 15 results.
But at one point, I was in a data-dead zone in the hills above Malibu, a situation that pickup owners may find themselves in. Wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard on SR5.
Midsize pickups don't typically have epic room in the back. Tacoma is no exception. I'm 5'9", and I have decent headroom. I've recently spent a lot of time in the midsize GM pickup trucks, and compared to Colorado, this has 1 less inch of legroom, but 3 inches more hip room. Openings for your feet are kind of small when you're getting in. Lots of pockets in the door panels. One of my frustrations, no pocket on this seat back, dang. There are helpful grab handles, there are cup holders, and there's power now. The old Tacoma did not have power back here. Behind the seat backs, there's a little bit of storage. The jack is back here, and lift the cushions up, and you can stash things out of sight. Nice. Overall, I would say 2 adults would be comfortable back here, especially if they have shorter legs. 3, in a pinch.
The aluminum tailgate is dampened on some models, even motorized on others. Bed volume is up by 7%, deeper from rail to floor, but still easy to reach over to grab things, an advantage of mid-sized trucks. The bed is made from sheet-molded compound, no aftermarket liner needed. Like all pickups, there are options for rail tie-downs, lighting, and tonneau covers, plus the requisite slots to place boards to create an additional level. AC power is available too. Again, it's available in 5 and 6 foot lengths. I'll point out that the grille is relatively subdued without over-the-top T-Rex aggressiveness. With limited time in pre-production vehicles, I'm going to give you my best red light, green light assessment. Green light. The driving position is a huge upgrade, especially for tall folks. The driving dynamics and structural rigidity are significantly improved, closer to the competition now. The turbocharged 4-cylinder has improved power delivery over the V6, better torque off the line. Toyota's expanded model lineup has a Tacoma for every buyer now. Basic, luxury, on-road, off-road. Yellow lights. The Turbo 4 has improved power delivery, but it's not as smooth as the V6. Tacoma is capable. Some competitors have an edge when it comes to power, max payload, and towing. Love the wide choice of models, cab sizes, and bed lengths, but it might get a little confusing for buyers trying to choose what's best for their needs. Red light. Looking past the pre-production trim, I'm not seeing improvement when it comes to the cabin's ambiance. The turbo whistle under light throttle became more and more evident as I drove. An improved truck means a higher price. As far as I can tell, Tacoma now commands a premium over the competition. It's priced more like a GMC. Tacoma owners are a faithful pack. They should know that the 4th generation Taco enters a substantially more competitive arena. The GM twins are exceptional trucks with refined driving dynamics well worth test driving, and Ford's new Ranger is launching soon. The Toyota is strictly a 4-cylinder turbo for now. Honda, Jeep, and Nissan might capture buyers due to that.
I get it, people are going to miss the V6, but overall, this generation Tacoma is a significant improvement over the last generation. It's much better on road, and let's face it, that's where these trucks are used the most. I like the turbo engine. The low-end torque is really, really good. The interior is better, and it's quieter. So, yeah, this is a better truck.
And midsize pickups have advantages. They're easier to work out of and drive in congested urban areas. The 2024 Tacoma will start rolling into dealerships in December. I'm looking forward to getting into a production truck. With more choices and a modern architecture, it will impress a wider audience, not just archaeologists. For those arguing that turbocharged 4-cylinders lack durability, this truck makes a statement. Toyota wouldn't put one under the hood if it felt that it lacked reliability. It's what the brand is about.
Now, when we talk about turbos, a lot of folks have some concerns. For example, they may say they're worried about durability. We talked about truck spec. What makes this turbo unique? In addition to all the, I'll say, technology and all of the development that's gone into controlling the actual input in the flow, maintaining as wide a lambda range as we can, we've also increased the duty cycle for these trucks. They're 50% greater duty cycle than what we would put in our traditional pass car. Why is that? Because we know that how people use them is going to be different. We're going to be lugging off-road, we're going to be towing, and we're going to be putting these trucks through a lot more, I'll say, strenuous duty cycle. We're pushing fluid to keep this cool. We have in our basically in our cooling inlet a 70 millimeter diameter inlet tube. That's about 3 inches. To give you some perspective, we would spec that for a V8 motor to manage the heat. Twice the cylinders, twice the displacement, but we're putting that in this type of a truck because we know we got to maintain cool temperatures to make sure that we have good life on our blocks.
Full disclosure, Toyota brought me to California, put me up in a nice hotel, and fed me good food, but opinions remain my own. It's important to me that you all get good information.
Before I go, one last thing about Tacoma. Not the truck, the city. And I'm not being catty here, folks, but back in the day when Toyota gave this truck the Tacoma name, we in the Pacific Northwest kind of went, huh? Let's say it was sort of rough around the edges back then. Not the greatest place in the world. It's gotten a lot better. In fact, I go there all the time now. A great art scene, great restaurants. My favorite Japanese place is there. I recently saw Herb Alpert there. It was really neat. So Tacoma, it's getting better. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to this channel, click notifications. If you've got a question, leave it in the comments or find me on social media. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.